Is what you said about my son true? Ulran is dead? Ulran was good at getting himself into trouble, but I never thought it would come to this. Please, Outlander, don't let the same thing happen to my daughter. You agreed to work for my husband, Councillor Eris, to find our daughter Vea. You found Vea and kept her safe from the Warclaw's mercenary band. But in doing so, you discovered that they killed my son Ulran when they attacked an Ashlander camp. My daughter has joined the Morag Tong. She asked you to help find out what happened to her brother. It seems Captain Briven may have been involved in Ulran's death. Now, my husband has asked you to keep Vea away until he can sort out what happened. I don't attend council meetings, so I wasn't there when they debated the fate.
Seems as if the pact leaders are preparing to take on the Skald King's traitorous brother. How can I help you?
Outland! Now you told me what you found in the Ashlander mine. I can't imagine what Vea must be going through right now, but she shouldn't be alone. That's why I came looking for you. Nayu has responsibilities to tend to. Morag Tong responsibilities. Understand? She left me to keep Vea company, but I'm not very good at spouting words of comfort and solace. Unless I can kill something, I'm very good at that. You do understand. And now you implied you're as dense as the ash storms coming off Red Mountain. Good to know even the Mother of Blades can be wrong. Vea's upset, and not just about her brother. She wanted to go with Nayu. One other thing, Nayu's job concerns House Redoran. That's why she didn't want Vea to accompany her on this one. Vea's grief-stricken, angry, and ready to lash out at anyone and anything, so keep your head low and try not to upset her. I have experience getting on a lot of people's bad sides. Women, especially, find me exasperating. Irresistible, but exasperating. It's a gift. Something about who Nayu's target is. Thinks the target may know something about what happened to her brother. Look, I'm not even sure how Vea found out who Nayu's target is, and I don't want to know. Just go and talk to her, please. Carefully, and with your hands empty and clearly visible. She's in the safe house beneath Balmora, or at least that's where I left her. But I didn't lock the door, so I suppose she could be anywhere by now. I suggest you hurry and get down there.
Get out of here, Ashur. I don't need a nursemaid, no matter what Naru might think. Oh, it's you. Sorry about that. Did Ashur send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is gonna find my dagger in their stomach. Gods, I'm not mad at you. I'm just annoyed at everybody right now. No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be doing something. Sitting down here in the dark, hiding, that's not gonna solve anything. I know, but Naryu's writ. It involves a Redoran councillor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The councillor knows who set up my brother. We need to talk to her before Naryu executes the writ. Do this for me, and I promise to stay here. Well, Naryu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenum Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually. I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenum Manor. My father used to say it was used by councillors as a retreat. But Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy. That's all I've been doing, thinking. And I think Ulran was right. I think someone wanted him out of the way, and they orchestrated the event with the Ashlanders to do it. Someone played my brother for a fool, and it cost him his life. Brivon's as stubborn as my father when it comes to following the rules and regulations of House Redoran. Ulran and Brivon were best friends, even if they argued from time to time. Politics, foreign relations, the Ashlanders, you name an issue, and Ulran and Brivon were probably on opposite sides of the argument. It got to the point where I had to ignore both of them or they'd drive me insane. You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't know that my brother was dead. Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us, in his own way. But what else did he say? Did he know that Ulran had been banished? He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I had to get away. Join the Morag Tong. At least Naryu understands me. Mostly. I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay. Just you watch.
The Silt Strider suffers from moss blight, but the speckled Nixox makes a fine substitute. If you don't know what I'm talking about, forget I said anything.
It must have been so hard on Father, to have to leave us so often, to keep silent while we grew cold and distant, even when he was here. It might seem odd, but I feel hopeful. Father and Mother are finally with us. Their memories will live on.
Hello. Hit them where it hurts. Delicate and dashing.
Edode, Deteri, Ta.
If you must be told the basics, then you're simply not ready to purchase from my shop. Look elsewhere for someone to hold your hand. A mistake in alchemy is the difference between life and death. Will you be needing anything today?
The Red Mountain? Oh, that's just noise and smoke. Nothing to be concerned about. I'm almost certain it won't erupt during our lifetime. Lord Vivek and the Tribunal would never allow such a thing.
Well done, Outlander! Well, as you recover more rubbings, return here to me. With every detail we add to our model, the closer we get to discovering the location of the lost library. I prepared a list of tombs you'll need to find. Refer to the note as you conduct your search. Wonderful! I'll decipher its portion of the clues and finalize the associated section of the diorama at once.
Keep an ear out for anything exciting.
Highest quality merchandise.
Get on or get moving. I don't have all day. Where are you going? Looking to get out of Vivek City? Smart decision. I could use some time away myself. I can take you to Suran or Balmora. They're fairly close. Do either of those locations interest you? Farther away? That's probably a good idea. I can take you as far as Nisus or Telmora. Do either of those locations interest you? Looking to get out of Vivek City?
Would be nice to get a drink or two.
What?
Can't you see that I'm furious?
I can feel it humming.
I expected you hours ago, hero. It's not polite to keep an assassin waiting. I was wondering how long it was going to take Vea to convince you to follow me. But she thought I didn't notice when she glanced at my writ, didn't she? Where is my overly curious apprentice, by the way? I know Vea wants answers, but this is my job. There are rules, especially where the lords of the great houses are concerned. There might be a way to deal with this, though, provided you're willing to help. First, don't kill any Redrons. That's a violation of my writ and could have serious consequences for both of us. Second, you sneak around and search for anything that pertains to Ulron's exile while I figure out how to deal with the Counselor. We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morog Tong will have my head. It's unusual, but not unheard of. True, most writs taken out against the houses target low to mid-ranking officials. The Grand Master is cautious when it comes to accepting such a high-profile writ. Apparently, though, this target has been very bad. Councillor Dovera has been conspiring with House Drez to promote the slave trade and avoid scrutiny by Redrin and Pact officials. She played a dangerous but profitable game, and her coffers were overflowing. Until someone noticed. I'm not privy to the laborious investigations that took place. In cases like these, though, the target usually becomes complacent and lets her guard down. She made a mess. Now I get to clean it up, for the good of Dunmer society. That's the question, isn't it? It nags at us the way the torchbug nags at the brave little scrib in those children's stories. Once we discover who Ulron's torchbug is, we'll have a clearer understanding of why they set him up and why he had to die. I'm not saying that. Accidents happen. But they certainly made sure Ulron was in the wrong place at the wrong time, both in Balmora and again in the Ashlander camp. In addition to whatever you can find here, you should also talk to Captain Briven. Briven's name keeps coming up. At the very least, he was Ulron's best friend once. He might be able to shed some light on Ulron and what happened to cause his exile. And I really want to know what took place after Ulron left us that message. Vea's my apprentice, and I'll decide when she's ready to take on a mission. She's been through a lot, and her actions reflect on me and my status in the Morog Tong. She may not appreciate it right now, but I'm trying to keep the both of us on track. That's how it works. Her actions are my actions. Vea goes out and executes 3 writs. I share the credit and get praised for training my apprentice. On the other hand, if she kills someone without a writ, the Morog Tong takes both our heads. There have to be. My order came this close to being eliminated. It's only recently that we've started to make a comeback, and only in Dunmer territory. If we can't control the actions of our members, we'll be hunted down and destroyed for sure. We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morog Tong will have my head. What's our story if we get caught?
Getting old is no picnic. The alternative is a lot worse.
Where is that meet the new commander?
His fate was such that no one would have His fate was such that no one.
Pocket what you can!
That bit of green was undercooked.
That's what he said.
The front door's guarded like a bank vault. Maybe there's another way in through one of the buildings by the docks.
Nothing is certain until it happens.
We should throw dice with them.
I try not to be superstitious. That brings bad luck.
He goes to the city just for the pickpockets. Says it's the only love he ever gets.
Every woman has her price. Mine.
This looks promising. Might even lead to the wine cellars. I could use a good bottle of wine. See what you can find pertaining to Ulran. I've got a dagger and a writ with Councillor Dolvara's name on them. If we don't find anything, maybe we can ask for an invitation to the upcoming council meeting. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer our questions. So House Redoran issued an advisory against the Morag Tong? Fat lot of good that's going to do the councillor.
Did you see his new bow? That must have cost him.
The only fish that go with the river's flow are the dead ones.
Nine times out of 10, the cynics are right.
Damn the luck! I was hoping for a quick stab and go, but it seems the councillor might actually know something about Ulran. So Councillor Dolvara does know something about Vea's brother. Damn it all! Now I suppose you want to actually talk to her before I execute the walking pile of pond scum. Of course we do. I specifically waited for you to arrive because I figured that would be the case. Still doesn't mean I'm happy about blurring the line between helping Vea and performing my duty as a Morag Tong. We discovered that the next meeting of the High Council will take place at the consulate outside Balmra. The war clause and the Ashlander abuse aren't completely sanctioned by the House, and Dolvara was present when Ulran was exiled. Not a bad haul. That means we have to get Dolvara to spill her guts before I spill her guts. Just keep your wits about you, hero. Dolvara wields her feminine charms the way I wield my daggers. Don't let her seduce you into doing something stupid before I end her.
You do not want to get on my bad side.
Be quick with your questions, hero. When I slip in, so do my daggers.
Ah, you must be here about those pesky patrol schedules. After all that clandestine correspondence, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Now, come closer so we can celebrate our partnership in a proper fashion. Well, look at you. I'm impressed. The last person House Drez sent over was so much more scruffy. I have a meeting with House Halalu shortly, but I think I can spare a few more moments for you to seal our partnership, you understand. The noble's banished son? Why does House Drez care about that? Never mind. Anything so we can get to the good stuff. Ulron was tested and found wanting. Chose the life of a savage over his own soldier. We stripped him of his rank and exiled him. Ulron's dead? I hadn't heard. As to who was behind the test of Ulron's loyalty, what does that matter? He failed and paid the price for his poor choices. What does all this have to do with our arrangement?
You aren't
Can
clever
you use
enough
that
or
talent to
pretty
clear my
enough
bar
to
tab?
avoid what's about to happen, Dolvra.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you people?
I'm a Morag Tong with a writ that says you're a criminal and a traitor. That means I get to end your miserable existence. Take another look around, hero, and see if you can find anything else related to Ulron.
Nine times out of 10, the cynics...
Alakir massage oils? Fancy. But that has nothing to do with Ulron.
Morality is a fool.
More proof that Dolvra was in bed with both House Halalu and House Drez.
I try not to be superstitious. That brings bad luck.
See if you can find anything else and then let's get out of here. I've got a legal writ. You, not so much.
Morality is a fool's game.
That's Captain Briven's seal. I suppose our evil counselor courted favor wherever she could find it. The good Captain Briven appears to be more involved in Ulron's fate than I had imagined. He never struck me as the type to use murder and deceit to get ahead, but that's the problem with greed. It causes decent people to make stupid choices. Or he's trying to hide something. The letter mentioned an intact squad sent to scout the old fort. You need to get out there and see what those soldiers know before Briven gives them new orders and they disappear. I suppose she's probably pulled tight as a bowstring waiting to hear something. Go talk to Vea while I present my writ to the authorities. I can't wait to see the look on the Redoran Magister's face when I tell him what his counselor was up to.
He hears voices in his head. Don't worry, they're good people. That bit of green was undercooked.
Getting old is no picnic. The alternative is a lot worse.
Back again? Took your sweet time. You didn't learn anything, did you? Not that it matters. Oran's dead and nothing can change that. What good is that going to do? They won't speak to us. House before family and all that. Believe me, I'm more than familiar with Redoran honor. Still, I suppose I know a few ways to get people to talk. More rules. I thought we were beyond those kinds of limitations. Look, I need to figure out who's responsible for Oren's death, House councillors, Redoran soldiers, Ashlanders, whoever it is, they need to pay. Riven was Ulran's best friend. Would he really betray my brother? Regardless, I want you to have this. You could have handed me to my father, and you didn't. Other than Naryu and Asher, you might be the only friend I have left. So which soldiers are we talking about? I know most of the people my brother used to work with. Eyewitnesses are better than notes in the house registry, provided I can actually get them to talk to me. There's no time to waste. That fort's near the cave where I was hiding. Last time I was there, the fort was crawling with cultists. We need to find them before Vatala and his soldiers wind up sacrificed to some Daedric prince. We'll get Vatala and his soldiers killed. I know the process. Turning in a writ can take hours, maybe even an entire day. I'll leave Naryu a note. She can meet us at the fort. I'm going. Either come with me or get out of my way. Let me gather my gear and write a note for Naryu. I'll meet you near the Hlormaran stronghold. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that we'll learn who's responsible for Oran's death soon. Then blood will flow. As far as I'm concerned, rules got my brother killed. They don't apply to me anymore. Besides, to find the soldiers, we're probably going to have to carve a path through those cultists. The Morag tongue won't care about that. That's what the handbook says. Look, I know what Naryu's done for me. To keep me safe, I appreciate that. But this is about what they did to my brother. Nothing else matters. Not Naryu, not you, and certainly not me. No, never. You and Naryu aren't my enemies. I just need to get justice for Ulran. Otherwise his death will be the first of many. We have to be able to resist laws that make no sense or get people hurt, without being afraid of getting exiled. I know Vatala. He's a typical Redoran soldier, loyal to a fault, always spouting nonsense about house and honor above all. He was devoted to my brother, though. Ulran considered him to be one of his best. Ulran had a habit of putting the needs of others ahead of his own. He probably told Vatala and his soldiers to remain quiet, decided to take responsibility and save them any heartache. I hope these soldiers remember that when we find them. Let me gather my gear and write a note for Naryu. I'll meet you near the Hlormaran stronghold. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that we'll learn who's responsible for Oran's death soon. Then blood will flow.
Can you believe it? I saw Omelette. I received a report of recent assassination. Councillor Dolvera. It was a legal writ carried out by Nario Virian. No sign of Vea, but they did see you. And I appreciate your help in this. That's why your name doesn't appear in the official records. That might be my last official act for House Redoran. I've had it with honor and politics. I'll be leaving Balmora shortly. Eris knows my feelings. If he does what he promises at the upcoming council meeting, then he can find me in Vivec City. If not, he can go to oblivion. If Vea wants to get in touch, let her know where I'll be. I'll respect whatever she decides. You continue to work for my husband, Councillor.
You're here, I'm here, the damn cultists are here. You know who isn't here? Vattler and his squad. They're probably hiding. Or dead. They better not be dead. Nariu's probably busy clearing her writ, and we don't have time to wait. This opportunity to learn more about what happened to Olran won't last much longer. We need to find that squad of soldiers. Their orders were to scout the old stronghold. I suggest we search along the outskirts and see if we can pick up their trail. A Redoran officer's sword. No Redoran soldier would leave that behind willingly. We need to find those...
Isn't the best defense always a good attack?
You just keep growing!
A bedroll. Still wrapped and ready to use. Standard issue for a Redoran soldier. Corporal Darvel. I knew him. But the others, they're civilians. They must have taken Tellem's soldiers inside.
That was fun!
We've got to get inside the stronghold. The Three only knows what the cultists have planned for my brother's soldiers. Olran wouldn't want them to wind up sacrificed for the glory of a crazed Daedric prince. There we go. Let's get inside and find the others before it's too late. Let's find the soldiers and get out of here before these stupid cultists realize what's happening.
Who's that? We won't let you take us without a fight. Wait, Bea, is that you?
Thank the Three! You're all still alive!
I'm not sure what you and Vea are doing here, but let us out. Then we can return Vea to her father. Councillor Eris has been terribly worried since she disappeared. This isn't the time or the place to have that discussion. Get the key to this cage and then we can find a private place to talk. One of the cultists carries the key. I don't think he's too far away. We hear him patrolling around every so often. Free us, and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You have my word as a Redoran and as an officer.
You find the key. Me and Vattler. We're going to have a little chat while we're waiting.
Vea, I'm just trying to protect you.
From what? The truth? Oh, please. I want to know who did this to my brother. You find the key. In the meantime, Vattler and I are going to get reacquainted. I want to hear about what happened when my brother was sent to confront the Ashlanders.
I've never seen that look on Vea's face before. Get the key and let us out, please! You don't know what those crazed cultists are capable of.
Ah, another sacrifice for the Prince of Bargains.
Vea, wait! You can't leave us like this! I knew I shouldn't have told Vea the truth. I just made everything worse. Please, let us out of here. We have to stop Vea before she does something she'll regret. I told her what she wanted to hear. I was with Captain Ulran the day everything happened. I was commanded to lure the Ashlanders to town and set up a situation for Ulran to deal with. My orders were to invite the Ashlanders to Balmora to trade, send some local toughs to instigate a commotion, and then get Ulran to investigate. It was just supposed to be a loyalty test. Who expected Ulran to kill his own soldier to save a savage? Captain Briven, though he was still a lieutenant at the time, as soon as I explained all this to Vea, her face turned dark and she stormed out of here. I think she's going to Balmora to kill him. You need to let me out so I can warn the captain. Thank you. Now, get to Balmora and stop Vea before she does something she'll regret.
There's a great tavern around here.
Get your ass over here, hero. I leave you and Vea alone for a couple of hours, and everything goes to oblivion in an ore cart. Why did Vea leave the safe house? And why is House Redren tearing the city apart to find her? You did what? I suppose you thought that was a good idea? Well, the damage is done. At least tell me you found something to make this debacle a little more palatable. That explains why Vea broke into the kin house. I'm not sure what happened in there, but she certainly stirred up the Redren soldiers. Vea might still be inside. Or she might have given them the slip. She could be anywhere by now. If Vea kills Briven without a writ, the Morog Tong and House Redren will both want her head on a silver platter. You check the kin house. I'll grab Ashur and see if we can pick up Vea's trail in the streets. Don't let me down, hero.
Scour the streets. Search the buildings. Vea Releth does not leave this city.
Young woman. She killed them all. Didn't say a word, just walked in, drew her blades, and cut down every soldier who tried to stop her. And her eyes. I never saw such rage as I saw in her eyes. She headed upstairs, to Captain Briven's apartment, I think. I can't believe she killed all these soldiers. No, she totally ignored us. Just the soldiers. Nobody else was harmed.
Sorrow and gloom.
Why must I suffer?
What hope is there?
What's the meaning of this? Where are the soldiers? If you're looking for my husband, I'll tell you the same thing that I told that brazen young woman. The council is meeting outside Balmora, and Briven is protecting the councillors. Now, if you don't mind, I've had more than enough excitement for one day. I could barely make sense of the nonsense she was spouting. It was Vea, Councillor Eris's daughter. Everything she said was a ramble. Something about my husband betraying her brother, that my Brivin had to suffer just as she was suffering. She had a knife, but no, she didn't harm me. She said her brother wouldn't hurt an innocent, that I wasn't responsible for his death. Do you have any idea what she was talking about? Because I certainly don't. You shouldn't get involved. That young woman will hasten her own death if she thinks she can get past my husband and his soldiers. But if you insist, the meeting is taking place at the garrison north of Balmora. Dead soldiers? They were just protecting the kin house. I'll go stay with my sister in Vivek. Brivin is the finest soldier I know. He'll set Vea straight. I'm sure of it.
This is just awful.
The gods have
Why
abandoned
must I
me.
suffer so?
Please tell me you found Vea. I can already feel the cold steel of the executioner's blade on the back of my neck. Is Vea trying to get herself killed? You can't just barge into a Redren garrison and ask the soldiers to stand aside while you murder their captain? We have to get to her before she gets to Brivin. She murdered soldiers without a writ. This is a dark path she's decided to follow. And unless we play this just right, it's not going to end well for any of us. Let's find Vea and put a stop to this. We can deal with any consequences after that.
What is with all the Redren soldiers? Did something happen?
I wonder if it has something to do with the Councillor's daughter. She's been missing for weeks now.
The soldiers will find her. I heard she slaughtered everyone in the kin house. That girl was trouble from the time she was old enough to walk.
Vea, are you sure? I heard it was the Morag Tong. Had a writ from the House Halalu. It's obvious how much they want this city.
Guard every exit. If Vea tries to get into or out of the city, we'll find her.
The soldiers will find her. I heard she slaughtered everyone in the kin house.
I don't like the looks of this. Brivin is using war claws to patrol the garrison instead of Redren soldiers. Either house forces are stretched thinner than I thought, or Brivin wants to justify the use of mercenaries to the council. Maybe nothing, maybe everything. We know Ulron refused to employ mercenaries. He hated counting on thugs to do the right thing. I expect the Redren Council feels the same. Maybe Brivon's trying to show them what the War Claws can do. The War Claws may be a blessing in disguise. I can explain killing these bastards a lot easier than trying to wipe Redoran blood off my hands. Let's go stop Veya. I'm ready when you are, hero. There's no stealthy way to approach this. The front door's our only option. Then we track down Brivon, find Veya, bonk her on the head, and get her out of here before she does something I can't fix. Easy as gore apple pie.
This one is not superstitious. That brings bad luck.
You're going to regret this!
Someone's definitely going to miss that.
Glad to see we all made it. Now let's find Brivon before Veya skewers him.
Getting old is no picnic, but the alternative is a lot worse.
Keep your weapons sharp and close.
This one wonders if the meat of shaveskins is tasty.
Do not taste me, unclawed fool.
Like many Redoran structures, this place is huge and designed to serve a multitude of purposes. We're going to need to split up to cover it all. We must find Brivon and keep him alive until I can talk some sense into my damn apprentice. He's going to be as mad as a bullnetch and twice as ugly, provided we can actually convince him we're here to save his sorry hide and that we're not part of a plot to kill him and the counselors. Just another day at the fair, right, hero?
I try not to be superstitious. That brings
Nothing yet, eh? I hear voices behind this door, but it's locked tight. Keep looking, hero. I haven't so much as heard or seen even a whisper of Brivon yet. Just lots of snarling war claws. If we can't get through this door, there's only one other way to go. It's always important to figure out where a target keeps its wine. In this case, down in the cellars. There's a staircase back where we first came in. And if we still don't find Briven or Vea, well, at least there'll be plenty to drink. And I'll figure out how to get this door open, just in case. You know, attending a House Redoran Council meeting was always a secret goal of mine. Right after getting a lusty Argonian maiden to scrape my flesh raw with her abrasive tongue.
Captain Briven is on his way. Soon you'll have a permanent job. Kill the intruders. They have interfered for the last time.
What's going on down here? It sounds like a... You! What are you doing here? Explain yourself! What in the name of the three are you up to? I thought you worked for Councillor Eris. You better have a damn good reason for killing the mercenary leader. I ought to sound the alarm and let her warriors deal with the likes of you. Vea? She's barely out from under her mother's apron and she presumes to judge my actions? No matter. Whatever your motives, nothing justifies the blatant killing of Ferhara and her mercenaries. Councillor Eris can't protect you this time, Outlander. Ah, now everything becomes clear. Vea learned something of her brother's fate and wants to retaliate. Then let her come. But know this, I merely set the events in motion. I didn't conceive the plan. You're looking for the responsible party. Then look no further than Councillor Eris. He wanted to prove his son's loyalty to the House, to show that Oren's fascination with the savage Ashlanders hadn't corrupted him. Well, look how that turned out. A test Oren failed. Eris was devastated when his son sided with the savages, and his daughter ran away. He decided to resign his position. He'll make the announcement today. Eris hopes to restore his family, but I think it's a lost cause.
That's for Oren. Choke on your own blood, you bastard. My father, the entire council, they're all guilty. They all have to die. I have to do this, so stay out of my way.
Vea actually did it. She killed Briven in cold blood. Vea killed Briven without a writ. It was pure, focused rage. I never expected her to go through with it. If Vea doesn't get herself killed up there, the Morag Tong will hunt her down and execute her, like a rabid gua. Her and me both. I'm not sure they deserve to be saved, but that's what we have to do. Vea can't be allowed to kill the councillors. We have to stop her. It's more than me and Vea's lives on the line. Something like this could destroy the Morag Tong. The Morag Tong only recently began to find acceptance again. Vea's actions don't just reflect badly on me. They could be used to force us back into the shadows, maybe even disband us all together. We're both going to have to answer for this. We have to get ahead of her. Cut her off. There's a door on the main floor, near the kitchens, that should allow us to come at the council meeting from another direction. I was able to get it open when I was scouting around up there. Let's go. Nothing's more important than reaching the council meeting. If the mercenaries get in our way, cut them down.
There's
just
no
getting
need to
started.
panic. No need to panic? She's cut down every mercenary in her way. Her father won't be able to stop her.
Veya's getting close. We're running out of time. Let me try to open this door.
Veya, daughter, I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Come on, stubborn, stupid
Father,
mother.
why? Does the house really matter more than your own son?
I needed to protect Ulron, to prove his loyalty. If I could do it all over again.
But you can't! None of us can! That's why I have to do
no!
this!
That's an order!
I'm not your apprentice anymore. The house has grown corrupt, evil. That's why all the councillors have to die. No more rules! No more secrets! House Redoran falls today!
Enough, Veya! This isn't the way! Veya's down.
Keep your weapons ready.
So much bloodshed. So much needless death. If only Eris would have listened. Outlander, we should speak. I think we can help one another.
She wants to talk to you, hero, not me. Best not keep the High Counselor waiting.
The Morag Tong agent. She cares deeply for Veya, doesn't she? It takes great courage to go against your heart and do what you know is best. You both did that by protecting the Council. For that, you have my thanks. A series of regrettable decisions led to this family tragedy, and most of them were made by Eris Relith. I knew of Ulron's compassion concerning the Ashlanders. It was unorthodox, but not worthy of the punishment meted out. Eris was wrong. Eris convinced Briven to test Ulron. Then the two of them decided to slaughter the Ashlanders. Oh, the Council allowed itself to be convinced that exile was an appropriate punishment, but we were wrong to let it go as far as it did. I didn't say that, but we're not butchers. We do not hire mercenary thugs to wipe out an entire people. This gathering was to deal with that. Eris planned to step down, and we were going to demote Briven for the part he played. House Redoran behaved poorly. Morag Tong rules were violated. I suggest we make sure these details never see the light of day. Leave the bodies where they are. We will say that Veya died protecting her father and the Council from the War Claws. Cooperate with House Redoran and hold your tongues. It's as simple as that. I shall return to the Council meeting and conclude our business. When we're finished, I expect you and Naryu to both be gone. That is all, Outlander.
I'm not sure about this. It's a generous offer, But those are some big secrets to sweep under a rug. Besides, Vea isn't dead. At least not yet. She's still breathing. The High Counselor thinks we killed her. The deal hinges upon all of us forgetting this sorry mess ever happened. Besides, once Vea regains her senses, there's every likelihood that she'll try to kill the Counselors again. When have I ever been able to convince Vea to do anything she didn't want to do? There's Redoran blood on Vea's hands. Once the Morag Tong ties those unauthorized murders to her, she's as good as dead anyway, and, more than likely, so am I. I don't see many options. We can either finish off Vea now, and go along with the High Counselor's deception, or we slip out of here with Vea and send her far, far away. She broke her vows and deserves to die. I know that, but it still feels wrong. Yes, you're right, damn it all. Vea spilled Redoran blood, and now she has to pay. I'll take care of it. She's my responsibility. You don't have to watch this. Go, I'll meet you back in Balmora after it's done. I need to do this alone. Now go. I'll see you in Balmora.
Would be nice to get a drink or two.
More deaths, more blood on my hands. Just another day in the Morag Tong, eh, hero? Vea died quickly. I didn't want her to suffer any more than she already had. This was for the best. If I keep telling myself that, maybe I'll eventually believe it. And my head's still attached to my beautiful neck, so that's something, right? There's always a choice. Vea could have chosen not to kill Redoran soldiers. She could have chosen not to kill her father. I could have chosen not to kill her. But hey, it seemed like the thing to do. Now leave me alone so I can finish my wine. What do you want, hero? You want me to say that you're right? Fine. You're right, damn it. We'll all keep more secrets, and everything will go back to the way it was. Look, I'd offer you some of my wine, but I don't want to. Really? Is this what justice feels like? My apprentice killed her own father, and I killed her. We've got a lot of death, but not much else. Just another typical day in the Morog Tong. Look, it may not sound like it, but I am grateful for your help. Always, hero. Oh, hey, I want you to have this. Something to remember Vea by. For an Outlander, I think she kind of liked you. I suppose I kind of like you too. Really, I'm not always this morose. Next time we meet, you'll see. Take care, hero.
You're getting good at
Need a
this.
nice warm bath. I hear the ones in Vivek are spectacular. I'd ask you to join me, but there's barely going to be enough room for me and my hangover. Give me some time, and then look for me in Vivek, if you happen to be in the area. Once I finish adjusting my attitude, I'll make it up to you. I know a lot of ways to show my appreciation, hero.
What did you see in there? Was it awful? No, don't tell me. I really don't want to know.
The fire's warm and the roof...
Our business has concluded. The monitor...